obviously the popcorn brought people together, but how do you use it now? Like this way of having conversations, and what kind of conversations are you having with people?
Absolutely. So for me, food is an equalizer. And I saw that power very early on. I started cooking when I was 5 years old. And it invites people into a moment without having to qualify for the time. You don't have to lead with, oh, I'm so-and-so, or I'm this, I'm important. If you're around really good food.
Yeah, you get to talk about the food.
You get to talk about the food. And then you start leading into meaningful conversations. And so that's why I really love the food component. And the kitchen component really transcends a physical kitchen.
Yeah.
It's more concept. Because for many of us, that's where heartfelt conversations happen. That's where wisdom is kind of passed on. So for me, it's more of a concept. So the Kirbee Kitchen concept has taken me into spaces also all over the world to really invite people into who am I?
Answering for themselves, or answering, you telling them you are this person?
Answering for ourselves. And I've seen where people, like, over good food and guided conversation, you can kind of see they're like, I've never said that out loud before. So to be able to hear their own voice and give language to who they really are, not who they've kind of created and the quick sound bites that we articulate to be like, do you accept me now? But when we dig deeper around good food and around guided conversation and questions that go a little bit deeper, people really get to unpack, who am I really? And who am I outside of all of these extra things?
Yeah, the titles, right? The labels, who am I outside? What other kinds of guided conversation? When you say that, I imagine you have a guide that you like to guide people through. So what is that guide?
And it really depends on the event. So I have had the opportunity to lead private small events, private large events, and then corporate events. Some of the corporate events are some of my favorites.
Really?
Because
it kind of surprises me. You know, I would think it would be the opposite.
Yes, and it's the private ones I love, and I have some really cool plans for those. But the corporate, I love it because people kind of come in ready to just be structured. They're ready to, this is a work event, and I'm going to be work-like.
And I'm going to pretend I'm taking notes that people think I'm really engaged.
That's right, exactly. And we do these things to ourselves sometimes where we look for reasons why we don't belong.
Yeah, that's like self-sabotage.
Yes. And we think it's actually protecting ourselves. Like, if I find the reason why I shouldn't be with them, then I won't be disappointed. I won't be embarrassed. And so we seek those things out instead of reasons why we do belong. So in my corporate events, you see everybody, especially in COVID, we were kind of in Zoom. So I'm like looking at these little boxes all over. And you see people like, they're kind of stiff. And I'm like, all right. And so I start off and I say, okay, I have a few rules. And you see everybody like, I knew it. Yeah. There are rules. There are rules. And I say, I kind of have a couple of rules. So I need you to answer these questions before we get started. It gets really intense.
Yeah.
And I say, are you human? And you see them kind of like, you should just ask us if we're human. And then a couple people are chuckling in the little boxes. And then I say, do you get hungry? And then you kind of see people, and I'm like, that's it. Let's go.
Yeah.
No one gets left behind, and we're going to be in this together.
Yeah.
But it's important to set that tone at the beginning. Like, you have everything you need.
Yeah, it's
in
already
order
here
for this to be successful.
Well, and that's such a deeper message too, and I think we forget that a lot, especially in a journey of any kind of self-discovery. It doesn't even have to be a journey where you say, I'm going to find my purpose.
That's right.
I mean, even if you're like, something's missing here, or who am I in all of this? Like, I need to find self. The beginning of that journey has to be with an understanding that everything you need is right here. Yes. And matter of fact, the guide is also already here.
That's right.
You were listening to that. Otherwise, you would have never embarked on the journey to begin with.
That's right.